Bitcoin's volatility makes you rich. I'm going to show in this video why you should embrace the volatility of Bitcoin and why it shouldn't bother you and why all these experts and all these economists and Nassim Taleb, who says that Bitcoin is a speculative asset because it goes up and down a lot and you can't really hold it as a serious investment. I'm going to show you why all of this is nonsense, okay? And why you should not be bothered by inflation. In fact, sorry, not inflation, by volatility. And in fact, you should be thankful that Bitcoin is volatile. Okay, so let's go to the presentation. Bitcoin's volatility makes you rich. Embrace Bitcoin's volatility. It will make you rich. Now, first of all, what is volatility? Let's do some term definitions here. So volatility is simply price fluctuations over time. Bitcoin price can swing 20% to 50% in months or even weeks. For example, in 2021, it peaked to $69,000, and then in 2022, it dipped to $16,000. So Bitcoin's volatility is quite sharp, and many people can't stomach it. And the only reason why they can't do that is because number one, they don't understand Bitcoin, or even if they understand it, they don't have a long-term vision or a long-term goal. Because when you want to invest in Bitcoin, when you want to buy Bitcoin, you want to do it for the long term, okay? You want to have low time preference, not high time preference. You don't want to become rich overnight because there is no magic solution that's going to turn you rich overnight. You can only buy, stack, and wait, and go through the fluctuations, go through the volatility. Why is Bitcoin volatile? Now, of course, Bitcoin has a small market cap compared to gold, for example. Bitcoin just cracked $2 trillion market cap, and gold is the market cap of gold, of course, is the largest asset. It's $22 trillion, which means Bitcoin is going to have big price swings. It's still in the early adoption phase. Bitcoin is still, like, when it comes to the other assets, I mean, Bitcoin, how old is Bitcoin? 16 years? I don't believe in teenagehood. I made a video about this, but let's just say, let's borrow from modern terminology and say this Bitcoin is a teenage asset. Okay, so that's why it acts up a lot compared to other assets. So why volatility is okay? It's okay because volatility dropping over time. When you look at the with Bitcoin in 2011, volatility was around 100%, over 100%. Now we dropped to 30-50% in 2025. But again, if you look in the grand scheme of things, if you zoom out and look at the chart of Bitcoin, you are going to see that in the grand scheme of things, and how to say, in the long-term view, Bitcoin is going upward. It has an upward trend. Okay, it might go up and down, but the uptrend is going upward. Okay, so long-term gains. That's why you shouldn't care about these fluctuations. You shouldn't care about the volatility. If your goal is to own Bitcoin for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, why should you care if Bitcoin is going to dip to $10,000, from 100 to $10,000? I wouldn't care. In fact, I'm going to go and buy even more Bitcoin. That's what I'm going to do. So if you have a long-term vision, you are going to make long-term gains. And of course, adoption is growing with the institutional adoption. A lot of companies now are buying Bitcoin. A lot of people are buying Bitcoin through the ETFs. A lot of ETFs are opening. They are performing way better than the other ETFs. And you should also remember that every asset goes through cycles. So early assets adoption cycles. New assets follow adoption cycles. Early adopters, high risk, high volatility. Bitcoin was quite volatile in the early days, and it was quite high risk because nobody understood what it was except the minority of computer scientists and computer cypherpunks and all these very minority individuals. So nobody knew what it was. I mean, I certainly didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what money is at the time. I didn't know that money has properties. I didn't know what is sound money. I didn't know what is good and bad money. I didn't know anything. I was like in high school at the time. So the early adopters, they usually buy when it's high risk and high volatility, but the ones that do at that time, they tend to understand the thing better. They tend to have conviction. They tend to know what they are doing to a certain extent. the growth phase, which I think we are in the growth phase of Bitcoin. More users buy it, big swings when it comes to price. And this is where Bitcoin is. It's in its growth phase. A lot of institutions are buying Bitcoin now. A lot of people are getting more interested in Bitcoin, although only 4% of the global population own Bitcoin. So even though we are in the growth phase, we are still early. You are still early to go and get you some Bitcoin. And then finally, the maturity phase, which is stability as adoption widens. When Bitcoin becomes widely adopted by individuals, corporations, governments, and pretty much everyone, then the price will mature and the asset will mature and the volatility will drop down. Bitcoin is in its early to mid adoption phase, like the internet in the 1990s. Okay. So Bitcoin's volatility is already declining. In 2011, it was around 100% annualized vol. 2025, around 30 to 50% annualized volatility. And the trend is going down. Okay. The trend is going down. Volatility drops as markets mature. So why volatility decreases over time? Of course, increased liquidity. A lot of people are going to be buying and selling. A lot of people will be trading Bitcoin. Wider adoption with payments, like payments on the second layer, like the Lightning Network. More investments, more corporate treasuries. A lot of corporations now are going to begin adding Bitcoin into their balance sheets. Infrastructure is widening as well. A lot of ETFs, a lot of exchanges where people can buy more Bitcoin. So yeah, volatility will definitely increase over time. But that's actually not good. You wanna take the opportunity right now. I say here that volatility equals opportunity for smart long-term investors and for smart long-term holders. So if you do your homework right now, if you study Bitcoin right now, you have the greatest opportunity to buy Bitcoin right now because it's volatile. Okay. The best time to buy Bitcoin was like 10 years ago. The second best time to buy it is now because Bitcoin is still volatile, and you want to take advantage of that. And I can't really explain to you why volatility is the greatest opportunity, is the greatest thing you should take advantage of. I can't explain it better than Michael Saylor. So let's listen to this short video where he really explains why you should be thankful for Bitcoin's volatility. Let's watch and listen.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich, that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have more money than time, and you're arrogant and egotistical and just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
So there you have it. Beautifully explained, beautifully well put. Volatility is your opportunity to buy Bitcoin when others are not buying it because it's volatile, okay? We know Bitcoin is going to keep going up forever. We know that from first principles. We know that Bitcoin is sound money. I've explained this in my old videos, the greatest scam the world has ever seen, where I explain what is sound money and why Bitcoin checks all the boxes when it comes to sound money. So sound money with limited supply will definitely keep going up. And if you don't buy it right now at $100,000, you will probably buy it when it's $1 million or $10 million, and it's going to be too late for you. Okay, so you get to buy fraction of Bitcoin right now. Of course, I'm not saying buy a whole Bitcoin. Very few people can do that, but you can buy fractions of Bitcoin over time and keep stacking as long as it hasn't reached $1 million or $10 million, you are still early. And remember, I said only 4% of the world population own Bitcoin. So you are still early. All right.
Volatility was a gift.
So what's the lesson of this video? Embrace volatility, study Bitcoin, buy Bitcoin every chance you get. When someone asks me, when should I buy Bitcoin? Should I wait for the market to dip? I just say, anytime's a good time to buy Bitcoin. Anytime's a good time. And when it dips, of course, you want to buy more. Of course, you want to buy more. So if you want to learn more about Bitcoin, watch my videos in my YouTube channel, subscribe to my channel, send it to a friend or two. If you want to learn some strategies on how to buy Bitcoin, you can watch a video of mine that I'm going to link to in the description below, where I talk about the best strategies to buy Bitcoin. And if you guys have any question, let me know in the comment section, and see you in the next one. Take care.